Democratic Alliance says it is ready to go ahead with the local government elections. This as the party went through a tough week in politics, including losing some wards at the past week's by-elections. MP Phumzile van Damme also resigning from Parliament, and one of its councillors in the Western Cape facing corruption allegations. Is there still hope for the party to regain ground in the upcoming local government elections? We are now joined by Siviwe Kwahube, the DA's national spokesperson. Siviwe, a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. Now, the DA says it is ready to contest the local government elections. Just give us a quick sense of where the party is right now. I mean, it has suffered a bruising losses in this week's by-elections.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for having me. Look, I mean, I think it's quite important. We've made our position quite clear that, you know, we are of the view that the country should go to a local government election. Local frequent elections are the cornerstone of a constitutional democracy. And as the DA, regardless of some of the hard times that we've gone through in the last 2 years, are actually, you know, quite set on engaging South Africans with our message and contesting a local government election, because we think that it's important that South Africans are given the opportunity to go and choose a government of their choice at the polls come October this year. We've noted the IEC is now wanting to do a review of the decision and to see of the feasibility of holding the election. We will continue with engaging them as we have, and again, I mean, we think that if the IEC is able to guarantee a free and fair and a safe election, then we certainly must proceed.
Well, we will expand on your plans for these upcoming local government elections a bit later in our conversation, but I want us to move to another matter around Phumzile van Damme having resigned from Parliament. I mean, there are signs of a party that's in disarray right now, but let me get your sense of where you are. How would you describe the state of the DA right now?
Look, I mean, you know, political parties go through difficulties, and I think the DA has not been spared over the last 2 years. But ultimately, the party went to Congress last year, and we elected a new leadership, and that leadership now has to take the party through to an election. And of course, you know, it's never easy to lose credible leaders like Ms. Van Damme, but ultimately we've got to move on, because we've got over 2,000 public reps across the country, and we've got multiple councillors who need to be taken over the line and who are really hardworking in serving their communities. And so we've got to soldier on, and where we have erred and voters have spoken to us and we have lost wards or retained them with the reduced support, we've got to listen to voters, and we've got to introspect, and then we've got to earn the trust of voters as we head towards the local government elections. But what we cannot do is that we cannot simply fold, because the work of an opposition party is incredibly important to a democracy.
Speaking about moving on, Phumzile van Damme has already spoken out on the matter, clarifying that she's not leaving because of the DA as a so-called racist party, but because of a clique of individuals within the party. And the DA has also welcomed her resignation, as you have put it, as an MP and as a member of the party. There seems to be a bit of confusion here, or contradicting statements.
Look, I mean, I think it's quite important that I don't necessarily want to go into the merits or demerits of Ms. Van Damme's reasons, because I think that she's well versed to be able to ventilate those herself. But you know, as we had clarified on Friday, that we welcome the clarity from Ms. Van Damme that she remains a committed member of the Democratic Alliance, because we could all gain from her years and experience in the party, and so, you know, it's great that, you know, we still have her amongst our ranks. And so that's that I have to say on that, because as I said, I think to respect Ms. Van Damme's wishes of not wanting to necessarily do interviews on this, I don't think it's fair. I think that it's something that I must allow her to ventilate herself. But you know, like I said, it's never easy to lose a member of parliament of her caliber.
But I mean, a lot of people are watching these developments, and over the months, several senior DA members in recent times have either left the party or been removed. Notably, black leaders have been seen ditching the DA. Clearly there's something not right here. Does this not worry the current crop of leadership in the party?
Look, I mean, the leadership has to be concerned with whatever resignations that there are, with whatever disciplinary matters that arise, and I think it's something that they honestly and should be seized about. But at the same time, we also have to realize that people leave political parties for various reasons, and sometimes when we probably the only organization where there are findings against our own leaders, that we will act accordingly to say that we hold ourselves to a higher standard, so that we can, when we talk about accountability, then we can have credibility on that. And so, of course, these are difficult times, and it's always difficult to lose credible leaders. But that, as I said, I mean, the work of an opposition party is incredibly important, and that can't rest on individuals. And the project ahead is larger than that, and we've got to continue proceeding.
Let's shift gears now and look at what you alluded to a bit earlier in our conversation, your prospects for the upcoming local government elections. Now, despite the by-election results this week, you appear to be optimistic that the party will do well in the local government elections. Are you in any place to give us an understanding of what strategy you'll be using to regain trust of your electorate?
Yeah, look, I mean, if we're looking at, we've always held that by-elections are a good indicator of where you are headed as a political party, because they do give a gauge in between elections. And so, again, this is what we've been doing, where we have been looking at where we are losing, where we have lost wards, or where we are losing support, in order for us to go and rectify those things. Ultimately, voters will tell you when they are unhappy about certain things, and so then they will demonstrate that through the ballot box. And what I'm saying to you is that it's quite important as a party that we take that into consideration. When you do lose support at the ballot box, you can't simply blame the voters, but you've got to say, what is it that as an organization we need to do better in order for us to be a party that people can put their trust in? We know that we govern, and we govern well. We know that independent barometers across the country indicate that, you know, DA governments are governing well, and so we've got to be able to demonstrate that. We've got to be able to take our offer to the people of South Africa. And so, and also we're quite encouraged actually by the results this week, because firstly we retained all the wards that we contested in the city of Tshwane, and I think that's an important indicator, because we are working very hard in October in order for us to take the metro you know, in a majority, because we believe that once you govern, you are able to govern a municipality or a metro alone, then you are able to really demonstrate what it is that you can do. And so we're targeting places like the city of Tshwane, the city of Johannesburg, Nelson Mandela Bay, the city of eThekwini, and we're working very hard under COVID conditions to be able to reach voters where they are in a safe way, and also, you know, showcase them what our offer is.
Now, before we wrap up, to add to the DA's woes, the party's councillor in Cape Town, that's Nora Gross, has been charged with fraud and money laundering for allegedly using 170,000 in the church funding meant for food parcels in Atlantis. What has been the response by the party leadership on this particular matter?
Yeah, and I know that the city of Cape Town, I know that Dan Plater, the mayor, has been dealing with this matter. But we, as again, I said to you, you know, we're an organization of over 2,000 public representatives. And so we hold ourselves to a higher standard. If there's any wrongdoing by any of our public reps, the law must take its course, and the Democratic Alliance has to act accordingly. And so I think the matter has been receiving attention, but ultimately the assurance that I can give South Africans at home is that we are not an organization that will sweep things under the carpet. Where people are guilty of wrongdoing, we will be the first ones to act. Because again, when we talk about accountability from other political parties, from government, we want to be credible where that is concerned.
Well, there you have it. Speaking there was the DA national spokesperson, Sibuya Kwahube, speaking to us about the prospects for the party in the upcoming local government elections. They do appear quite optimistic of a decisive win in the elections taking place in October. In just